So regardless of wherever you end up in this posture, we're working with our full hip flexion, which we don't get if we're doing this. Hi gang, Denise here. This is pose of the week, and our pose today is Paschimottanasana, or seated forward fold. The whole reason I'm talking about seated forward fold is really so that I can talk about passive stretching. Because yoga, as you know, can kind of lean in the direction of doing lots and lots of stretching, and most of that stretching is quite passive, which means there's no muscle activation. And so anyone who takes my class knows I never do passive stretches ever. There's no passive postures except Shavasana in my class. They can do the passive stuff in other classes if they like, but they won't get that in my class. So I'm balancing the field a little bit by doing that. So I'm going to show you how I go into a posture like Paschimottanasana, which a lot of people think is about stretching, and stay active. One of the first things I do is recognize that for a lot of people, they're going to have a lot of tension in that back line. We're not going to actually reduce that tension all that much, but we are going to give them a little bit more hip flexion. So we'll do that by wrapping the arms around the back of the legs and then have everybody slide their heels out to whatever degree they can. So I'm going to definitely have people in my class that maybe get this far. I'll have people who can totally straighten their legs and maybe even lift their heels, and they're quite welcome to do so, but you can see that I'm quite active when I do that. So regardless of wherever you end up in this posture, we're working with our full hip flexion, which we don't get if we're doing this. Hip flexion is important. And then I start getting them to activate. So we may keep the arms around the legs, we may not. I'll show you some options. But one of the things we do is press down into the heels and pull the legs right into the hip socket. So watch what happens in my body when I do that. So if I'm passive in the pose and just kind of hanging out forward as far as I can go, and then I activate, you see what just happened? This actually drew my pelvis, it tilted it forward. And I did that with my own muscles. No one's sitting on me to do that. So that ends up being my active range of motion. I want to work with my active range of motion. That's what I have control over. So regardless of where somebody is in this pose, they can do the same thing. They can drag the legs into their hip socket. They're going to get more pelvic floor activation, more hip muscle activation, and it actually gives them more hip flexion. So that's kind of what you're trying for when you go into a passive stretch. So there's a few other options that are kind of fun here too, because you can use this posture to work with my upper back strength as well. So I would do something like this, wrap the strap around my feet, and I'm still actively pulling my legs into my hip socket. I'm going to strengthen my back now by pulling on this strap. And again, you can watch how the difference between passive and active. So I can actually use this posture for that as well. So I'm always finding ways of going into passive stretches, but staying active. And this is because it's better for my students. It's better for the health of their tissue. It's better, it's going to strengthen them. And you get more of the benefits that you get from muscle strengthening than you do from passive stretching. So I'm going to give you another video on that next time, and we'll take it a little bit further. But hopefully you're going to go away and experiment with some of that. Pull those hips into your socket, see what a difference it makes. Better pelvic floor activation and actually more hip flexion. So that's really what we're looking for. All right, I'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for joining. Bye for now.